Welcome everybody to What Do You Bring to the Table with Rajiv Satyal. I'm sitting here with Vidya Vox.
Hello.
Real name Vidya Iyer?
Vidya Iyer,
Okay.
yes.
I-Y-E-R.
Yes, that's correct.
And from where in India is that?
Chennai.
It is Chennai, so
Yes.
it's South Indian.
South
it's
Indian.
Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu, but my parents are from Palakkad, so
Okay.
it's in Kerala. So I
Yeah.
speak a little bit of a Palakkad Tamil dialect.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so my Tamil actually doesn't belong to Chennai and it's not Malayalam, so
Right.
yeah.
Because that's what they speak in
Kerala,
Yeah.
So it's like a combination, it's like a nice.
Yeah. I've been to all of the southern states. So.
What's your favorite?
Well, I mean,
There's an
I
audience.
kind of like Tamil Nadu, but also blends of Kerala.
Kerala's the best. Kerala's
That's the land of God.
answer. I noticed.
I know. I personality mirror quite well. They teach you that. They teach you that. It's the land of God, Kerala.
It's also beautiful. The food's great. I mean, Tamil Nadu is great. It's home, but yeah.
Now, how long was it home?
It was only home for the first 8 years of my life, so
Okay,
until I was
you're born
8.
there.
I was born there.
In Chennai.
Born in Chennai.
Okay.
We lived in Bombay for about 3 years.
Of
when
those
I was
8?
a kid. Mhm.
Okay.
And then I moved to, my family and I moved to Virginia. So I'm
Okay.
actually an East Coast girl.
Yeah. Where in Virginia? Fairfax?
Fairfax.
Okay.
Is that the only spot you know? or-
No, I lived in Arlington for 3 months.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you know some of the things.
got some
Alexandria.
Virginia vocab.
Okay. Yeah, I went to Fairfax High, but I went to GW for school.
Oh, yeah,
university.
great
Yeah,
school.
So all in DC.
I love DC.
DC's great.
It's the only part of the country where 3 different regions come together because you have like the South, the Midwest, and the East Coast.
Yes.
There's no other place in America where that's true.
That's very true. Yeah.
That's the dealio.
Yeah. After I quit my job in 2013, where I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go to India. I'm gonna go back to India and I'm going to learn music and, start this YouTube channel thing.
Yeah.
And then she was like, excuse me? That was 2013. So that was, oh my God, I don't even know.
I don't know, 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm 31 now.
Okay.
So
Okay,
8
so
years
you're
ago,
24,
24.
23.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and because I was really miserable, I was studying for my MCATs and I was working
Wow.
in a cardiology clinic as an assistant.
And this is in Virginia.
In Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at that time, my partner Shankar, who also produces everything,
Yeah.
he was already in India. And so I was like, okay, seems like you're doing cool things with YouTube. I'm going to come
He
join.
was?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Because he already had a YouTube channel
Great.
in 2011. And he introduced us to music as potentially a career because we would tour with him on the weekends or whenever we could, if there was any US shows that he had. So
And so he's a musician.
he's a musician.
Okay.
Yeah, clarinetist and
Clarinetist.
and producer.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't meet too many clarinetists.
Yeah, he's
I played the
great- he's
viola
great.
growing up, so-
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, but a clarinet is even cooler than a viola.
Clarinet is, I hear you get all the girls with clarinet.
Yeah, with a clarinet, absolutely. I mean, that's that. You lead with that.
Yeah.
So he's a clarinetist and a producer and a singer.
He's not a singer. He does sing some demo vocals. Shout out. Just kidding. No, but he's not a singer. And so he started YouTube in 2011, and then he was like, "Hey, you and your sister are singers. Sing your favorite Carnatic music song that you learned growing up."
Right.
And we did, and that got some attention. So we would get to tour with him.
Yeah.
In the U.S. So he really just kind of like sparked that in
Yeah.
me. Because growing up, I'm sure you also, you
Sure.
never thought that you were going to be like a comedian and performer. Clearly, engineering student. So me
Yeah.
neither. So I just learned music on the side. So,
Amazing.
but I needed to go back and get training in music again because all of college I had not had a single music lesson.
So it was all biology, psychology. You were hardcore pre-med.
Hardcore pre-med.
And you took your MCATs.
Yes, I did not. I did not
Oh,
take
okay.
my
You were
MCATs. No, I was
studying
studying for it.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
I did not get that
Nothing
far.
will- what's that?
I did not get that far.
Nothing will spark thinking about something else than studying.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, you know what would be great? Like, that's how my whole entire apartment would get clean.
Yeah.
Like, you go to study, you're like, you know what? I should really clean this
Yeah,
floor.
you're
you
like,
know?
you know what? I have to make dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start eating healthy. All this stuff happens.
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
Except studying.
Exactly. Except things you need to learn and get done.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
thing that would help you get a better apartment.
Right.
Forget that.
No, that's not for me.
That's too far off.
Yeah, no, I was not. I was like, I'm willing to study in a different way.
Yes.
So I went to, moved to Mumbai in August 2013.
Okay.
And or September actually, September
Okay.
2013. And then I found a Hindustani classical music teacher there and Western vocals person and take lessons. And I did that for 2 years. And then started my YouTube channel in 2015. And Shankar produced everything.
Wow. And so you had a producer, you're trained up, you're living in Bombay.
Yep.
And you start uploading these videos.
Yeah, moved back actually in with my mom, so that was like a really low blow because I was like, okay, I'm so broke.
Right.
I have to. So both Shankar and I are both living with my mom, and we were like, okay. How are we gonna make money now?
Right.
You know, my mom was like 2 years. You get 2 years to do something with.
That's what when I moved to LA from Cincinnati. That's what I was like. I give myself 2 years to do this.
Yeah.
And that's what. Okay, so you had the same.
So it was like the end, almost coming at the end of 2 years. So, you know, it was like April 2015. I was like, oh my God, I have to do something. So then Shankar and I actually bought a camera on a credit card because obviously we couldn't afford like a DSLR. So we were like, we need to make videos, and how are we going to do that? And yeah, we bought it on a credit card and we started making videos, and one after another, it kind of snowballed, and here we are.
That's incredible. Yeah. And so for those first 2 years, you're living at your parents, or you're living at your mom's with Shankar, you're there. And you guys are working together, and you're also dating.
Yes.
Okay, so that was there's a complex thing here that you guys actually figured that out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't.
Yeah.
They can't church and state it like that.
No, it's definitely a lot, and we get asked about it a lot.
I'm sure you do.
But we started dating before either of us even started working together.
Right.
So we started dating in like 2009.
Oh, okay, so quite a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be 12 years this October. Wild.
That's wild.
So yeah, and then he didn't start his music until 2011 on YouTube, and then I didn't start until 2015.
Yeah, 15, right.
Yeah.
And then that's when it really started taking off.
Yeah.
You start uploading these videos, and was there a formula where you figured it out early, where you go, this works and this doesn't? Or what was the failure process until you go, oh, this is what people want? Because I know you blend the East and the West.
Mm-hmm. I think it depends. When I did the very, very first song, I just sang like a Sia cover, and then...
Which one was it?
Big Girls Cry.
Okay.
And
I love Sia. So.
She's amazing.
And she's someone who's made a career later, like older. That's rare. Like you don't have someone over 35 on the pop charts.
Yeah, and she's amazing and phenomenal songwriter as well. Yeah. And then we listened back to it, and then Shankar goes, wait, you just spent so many years like learning Indian classical music. I can't hear any Indian thing in this, and what if you add like a few lines of a Bollywood song that could match? So then we were like YouTubing all these Bollywood songs, and then we landed on Kabhi Jo Badal. And then we were like, oh, why don't we like mix it and then see how it sounds? And it was just like 2 lines of that, and then that really felt natural and organic. And I was like, oh, this feels like both sides of my identity.
Right.
And people resonated with it, and we felt like, okay, we'll give this a shot. We'll see how this goes.
Right.
And at that time, it was 2 things. I mean, one, we did it for survival. We wanted to make money. We had to make a living out of it, get concerts, and then second one, I wasn't sure what I wanted my music to sound like at that time. So I was like, I'm gonna just experiment and see how it goes. Yeah. And so there are a lot of factors that just like push me to do these things.
When you sing just in the shower, in the car, or whatever, is it different? Do you have do you sing for pleasure for yourself differently for how you sing for like videos of the world? Good
question. No.
It's the same.
It's same. Yeah, usually. I mean, I would probably just experiment and let myself go a little bit more for myself. If I'm just like at the piano or whatever, and I can just screw around a little bit more. But definitely if I'm singing for videos or for concerts, it's very a fixed part. So then it's very practiced and rehearsed. So it's a little bit looser in terms of structure, but technique-wise and all that stuff pretty same.
Inspiration-wise, I'm sure you're asked about that a lot, but it must have been hard because there was no real path. I mean, there's like Indian Ocean and Pen Masala and these a cappella groups. Had you seen their videos, or were you kind of like, no, I'm gonna actually? How did you come up with the idea of blending them? Which I know you sort of explained it.
Yeah, I mean, mashups are like I didn't invent them, and they're not novel. And I feel like people have been doing it for generations. Actually, if you go to any of these places like Suriname or Trinidad, where there's a lot of Indian diaspora, and people generations before that had moved. All of their music is kind of like a blend already. Right. So basically, Shankar had already done some mashups on his channel, and we were like, maybe this could be my formula also, So that was kind of the inspiration.
What determines if it's good? Is it just a great melody?
Oh God, I don't know. It's personal preference. Art is so relative.
What about for you?
For me, if it's like a catchy melody, if the production is interesting, if the vocal technique is cool, if there's some fun runs. So I feel like I listen to music in a very like mathematical way.
Sure, it sounds like you're analyzing it.
As opposed to just like consuming it as a whole, I really take it apart.
Are there songs like that for you where you're going, man, that speaks to me. Like that's the kind of song I want to make.
Honestly, I haven't felt this way until recently.
Okay.
But it's anytime I listen to like a fun song by Dua Lipa.
Oh, she's so good.
She's amazing, and she knows how to write catchy, and like her and her team, they know how to write like catchy hooks and even pre-choruses and stuff like that that you can just sing along to in the shower. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could have written that. And I probably could have, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, no, obviously I didn't, so that's why I'm not singing it and she is. But no, but that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, I could have sung that. I wish I could have sung that.
Sure.
You know, that's
how much of that like is, I know you said her and the team, like how much of it is a team effort and how much of it is the person that just came up with their in their soul or their heart?
I honestly think it depends on the artist. Okay. I think a lot of artists today do have a songwriting team that they sit in a room with like 4 or 5 people and they just like write the song and bounce off ideas by
so like TV
other.
writing then.
Yeah, that's basically, like, yeah. If you look on like Beyonce's album credits, it's usually like 6 songwriters. You know, it depends. Or like Justin Bieber, it's like 11.
Right.
You know, so it really depends on who it is.
That's why.
But like Sia, it's like just her.
It's just she. Yeah,
or
that's
Taylor
the thing,
Swift.
Like, Taylor Swift, right.
Just
that's
her.
the thing is like Lemonade, right? They were like, look at all the, and they did a thing where it was like how many people were on that team versus Prince when he wrote Purple Rain. It was just Prince.
Right.
You know, and you're like, wow, yeah, just one dude who just did everything, played all the instruments.
I don't know. I feel like having other really good creatives in the room.
Sure.
They do that add to your art and understand you, who you are as an artist and as a person. It does take it to the next level. I think you can't create a Lemonade without that kind of team because it does take everybody's, you know, skills and expertise to create such a lovely product. But then Beyonce has the vision for it. So I think as long as it's authentic and true to her vision, having a team, I feel like there's no shame in that. There's doesn't make you less of an artist if you do.
No, it's Steve Jobs with Apple, right? Rest in peace. I mean,
Exactly,
it's like he didn't actually code the stuff and make a lot
but
of
it's
it.
like about the vision and about
a feeling that you want to lead people with. And,
exactly.
You know, this is what you want to.
And to be able to be impactful on a large scale in that sense, like sometimes some people need a team, and even Prince had a team, you know.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it really
no one does
depends.
everything by themselves.
Yeah, it's literally impossible.
Except stand-up comedians.
Right.
That's what's hard about it. Is like you're doing everything by yourself.
I mean, could you have a
could.
co-writer? Yeah.
You could. I've done 3, 4 solo shows, whatever they were, but just one themed kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I hired a director or co-writer to finish this one, actually, The Man in the Middle, and I took it to a certain point.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is politics. It's really hard because I did one on music, actually, and I did one on dating and all this stuff, but it was like politics was a little bit hard because you're just trying to find it. I wanted to get to the point where it was a very anti-Trump show, but when I did it in Cincinnati for a pro-Trump crowd, I got a standing ovation. That was hard to do on my own. I needed to bring someone in who's like, okay, I'm telling these people basically to F off, but I want to do it in a way that they're going to like me.
Yes.
You might want to bring someone in for that.
Of course, and I think that's cool. That's cool to do that because people just have the expertise that you might not have and experience. So I think that's great.
Vidya, I did the joke about a Vidya clip on the show earlier. Like, does it help that you're a video, like you make videos and your name's Vidya?
That is how I teach white people to say my name.
Like it's video,
but Vidya.
Vidya.
Yeah.
But that won't give them to do like the DH sound, the Vidya.
Yeah, no, because I take what I can get.
Yeah.
I get Vida a lot.
Vida, I get sure. Vida Loca.
Yeah, and I was like, there's a Y in there. People, please.
Yeah, it's not a silent Y.
Yeah, not silent. But I appreciate them trying to learn it. But yeah, it's usually, I say Lydia, rhymes with Vidya, or video like Vidya.
That's pretty good.
But it's actually Vidya.
Vidya.
Yeah, every time I say Vidya, people are like, oh, Vidya, so it doesn't matter.
That's like, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, fine, whatever.
Whatever it is. Vox, Ms. Vox.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And do you just do it for the alliteration, Vox?
Yeah.
And it sounds good.
Yeah, it also means voice in Latin.
Yeah.
And Junker actually came up with it. He actually used to name my tracks on Logic when we used to record. He'd be like, Vidya Vox. And that's how we were like, oh, this is a cool name.
It is a cool
Initially,
name.
I was like, I'm not sure about this, but then I warmed up.
Why weren't you sure about it at first?
Because
you wanted to use your real name?
No, I didn't. Because I had like really, really lame ideas, like Vidya's music and like all this, like for like
lame.
It's pretty lame. Like YouTube.
But now it's like you have Lovely the band, Portugal the man. They like spell out what they are.
Right.
Chance the rapper. It's like, we know you're rapping.
Yes.
You don't have to tell us what you are.
True. That's like cool. They're like artsy. You know, Portugal the man. That's cool. I'd be like Vidya the singer.
Or Chance, not the thing in Monopoly.
Right.
Community Chess the rapper.
Yeah. See? No, but I really like it, and it's just easy. VV. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very easy. It makes a W.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's upside down.
It is upside down. That's true. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's good to have like the hove.
Yeah.
It's good to have like a symbol.
Right.
That's pretty. So if you had to give your top artists, so Dua Lipa,
Love Dua Lipa.
Sia.
Yeah, I love Sia. I love Nicki Minaj. Beyonce is my all-time queen. You know, I bow down to her vibes. I love Beyonce, and I also love Rosalia.
Okay.
Love.
Okay.
I think she is phenomenal. She is so inspirational. She is able to do flamenco fusion in such a way that people are able to, even if you don't understand
You can access
Spanish, yeah, you can just access it, and it's amazing. And she still keeps the movements in her videos, and it's like really artsy and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you see as your role in the South Asian community? Do you think of yourself that way, like that you're representing our community, or do you just kind of like, no, man, I just happen to be South Asian. I happen to be Tamil, whatever.
I mean, I feel like it gets put on me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I do actually feel like I want to represent.
Sure.
My goal with music, like my big dream, eventually is to be able to kind of do what Rosalia did for Flamenco Infusion, to bring Indian music into the forefront of pop, and to be able to listen to it in a non-tokenized manner. I feel like it has been sampled for decades. You know, Missy Elliott, Jay-Z, everyone has been sampling Indian music. There's Tabla and Selena Gomez's songs.
Sure.
And I think that's all amazing, but it's time to hear from South Asian artists themselves.
What's the closest we've gotten to that? Or have we gotten there? Because I don't feel like we have.
I think we are getting there in pockets. I think right now with the rise of social media and just the access that people can have to music, it doesn't have to have like one pathway. You don't have to get the record label. You can do it through social media. So I think through that in pockets it's coming, but I don't know that we're fully there yet.
What's holding us back? Or do you feel like it should have happened? Or you're like, no, we haven't. Have there been dope tracks you're like, man, that should have been a mainstream banger, but you're like, no, I can see why that's holding us, like that's not quite the American ear.
I mean, there's so many amazing artists now that are doing that.
Sure.
There's like Priya Raghu, there's Raja Kumari, they're all like amazing, phenomenal artists that
But the average person on the street cannot name songs.
They won't know, no.
Yeah.
But people know Jalebi Baby, and I'm into that.
Yeah, that's true.
Although a lot of the edit, I know that is divisive, but I'm very supportive of it. I think it's great.
Why do you think it's divisive?
I think people are like, this is not India, this is not, whatever. And I'm like, but India's like, Indian music is so vast and also ancient, but also insulated. I think there's so many Indian artists that do stadium tours and you never hear about them.
Right.
And I think there's a reason for that. I think it's just so region specific.
Right. Like even NRIs that can do it. They can come to New Jersey, they can come to San Francisco,
and
whatever.
see like an AR tour,
Right.
and then it's like 13,000 people. He can do like Madison Square Garden, but then no one knows about it outside of that, or it's very insulated in the Indian community.
Right.
And I think that isn't necessarily bad, but I think if we wanted to be like kind of do what Priyanka Chopra did for film and television, and Mindy Kaling, everyone, and Hassan, they're all doing amazing things. Riz Ahmed, all of them are kind of just pushing the boundaries, where being like, okay, we can also have space in this entertainment.
Music's a little different though, isn't it? Because,
it is.
And actually I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah, it's like when you act, you act or you don't, and
Right.
it's kind of like whatever, but with music, it has to have an international flavor. Like it won't be in any culture, even like Latin music, which has become so big for so many decades now.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like they listen to it in Argentina.
Of course.
Of course, it's gonna have to have some kind of twist or bend to it.
Right.
So
I think as NRIs, we have a unique perspective on the Indian experience.
Sure.
So I think we can bring music that's influenced by here, but also holding on to our heritage. And I think that's key. But it has to be done in kind of like how Rosalia does, in a very like accessible way, because who is listening to flamenco, outside of like if you're not in Spain or you're not dancing to it. I could be wrong, but I feel like the average person isn't listening to flamenco.
No, it's not part of the conversation.
Right, but like everyone knows.
It's not going to trend on Twitter.
Yeah, but everyone knows the words to like Malamente, and it's like, how does that happen? So I think she mixes it with like influences like hip hop and R&B, and I think that's very powerful. Sure. And also, I think there needs to be a community. I think it just I can't be the only person doing it, or can't just be one artist. We all have to do it together in our own ways. I feel like that's a big reason why, you know, the Latinx community has such a forefront and voice in music, and Indian communities don't yet.
Why? Because they support each other more?
They support each other. There's a lot of different artists that are doing it. It's not just Rosalia. It's because she can do it because,
she stood on the shoulders
of Shakira, J-Lo, so many people. Ricky Martin. I mean, there's just so many.
Gloria Estefan. I mean, it goes way, Miami Sound Machine goes
all the way back.
You know?
Yeah. So Selena. Yeah,
Selena,
you know, amazing. Yeah, right. So I just feel like it has to build that way, and I think, I don't think we have had it yet. Yeah.
And also part of that is like language, right? I mean, you have Portuguese and Spanish, and it's just, and it's mostly Spanish, and you have one language, and in India, it should be, that would be a controversial way of putting out Hindi, but then of course you have Tamil, you have like all the other
languages. I mean, there's like, I think it's like 23 or 27 languages with like hundreds of dialects.
So many dialects, you know, and it's hard to agree, like, but do your music samples Hindi as well as Tamil, or also other?
Everything, Malayalam. My biggest one is Malayalam right now, Be Free. So that's like a folk song with my original tune. So, I mean, I think it really depends. I think it depends on, music. That's also a big reason. I think regional languages are, I feel like even Indian artists themselves in India face that. Like if I'm doing a show in Chennai and I don't sing enough Tamil songs, or I don't sing the Tamil versions of certain songs, people get mad. You know, so same thing with Hindi. If I'm in Mumbai or Delhi and I'm singing Tamil songs, people are like,
certainly the more farther north you go too, it's gonna be more
it happens. And even in like certain communities in like South Africa, if I've done shows, they're like, why are you singing more Tamil? And it's like, okay, but I'm singing all the languages and I can't possibly sample everything. So I think that in itself is a very complicated and complex thing to navigate. But I think for focusing on South Asians here, just outside of India, I think it has to be told from our unique experience, and it has to have influences from here. So people, not to present it in a way that's like palatable to the ordinary person. That's not the vibe.
But palatable to us, because we're a mosaic as well.
Yeah, so it has to be representative of our upbringing and our experience of being Indian diaspora.
And some of that is critical mass, right? I mean, the Latin community is so big, right? It's 13% of the population. You know, we're on a good day, we're with all the brown people, we're like, you know, 3 to 4%, you know, getting to 5, that kind of thing. So it's like, and that's way more than it was. Like it's expanded a lot in the last 20 years. But I always feel that the people who are the best at whatever they do are influenced by genres outside of themselves. So Kanye West, the reason why he's arguably the greatest, and I know that's a controversial statement, but I would purport that, is because he has a lot of black influences, but he has a lot of white influences. If you listen to his music and his references, or, you know, like he talks about Ferris Bueller or whatever, it's like, that's a pretty white movie. It's like, but he has found those things that he can sample and use Bon Iver and people like that who are like, you know, hip hop artists weren't doing that. Right. No one was doing that before.
I mean, but also his music is very rooted in his culture.
He's undeniably black, 100%. And then you also have like, okay, but he can take influences and mix them up. And no one goes, well, that's kind of white. It's like, I don't think people listen to Kanye West music and go, yeah, that's kind of white. No, it's black music, but it's got these, you know, these layerings to it that, you know, it's not going to be like ekdam, like African. Just like our music isn't going to be completely Indian either.
No, of course not. Why would it be? Yeah, because we don't live there, and we have experience that's outside of it.
How much of your base is in India versus, I'm sure you get the analytics and stuff like that, but you'd have to break it down to the 10th of a percent, but where's your audience?
A lot in India.
Okay.
It is about 80% in India.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And 80% in India, and then spattered around the rest of the world, like UK, Canada, here, Australia. So those are like the big ones.
If you combine those, that's like 70-80% of it, or even actually probably more than, I guess, like 90%. So that's great. And does that mean, like, so when you tour in India, and like, I mean, how big are these shows that you do?
Honestly, it depends, but the biggest one I've done is like, like 6,000 people in Bombay, but it can also range from just like very small to, but that's the biggest one I've done. Like 6,000? That's like my own headliner show.
Yeah,
that's like
they're
just
there to
me.
see you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been on shows maybe that had larger audiences.
Of course.
That are another billing, but they're like, they're coming to see Vidya Vox.
Yeah, people are paying their money to come see me, which is honestly such an honor. So
of course it is.
It's amazing. But that's usually but it can range.
Yeah. That's incredible. And what do you like more? Do you like making videos, or do you like, now you're doing the audio audio only thing, or do you like the thrill of live performance?
I love live performing, but it is extremely stressful because I have a very skeleton team. It's like really Shankar doing a lot of it, and then we have a tour manager and like a sound engineer. So it's like very very
really
skeleton to do a lot of
And they're
things.
Indian, and so they're thin, and so they look like skeletons.
Oh my god. Not necessarily.
I think I could say that. I'm thin enough to be
You
that,
can
but
say
yeah.
it.
That's right.
No, I think it. So it's because of that it gets really stressful. Also, sometimes in India and like certain regions, things are different. You know, you give somebody a tech writer, they're like, cool, trash. This is what we have. You know, so really depends. Contracts are just like fun light reading pieces for people. So that stuff becomes really stressful.
Yeah.
The craziest experience was probably I was on a tour a few years ago, and it was my tour, and it was one of the cities, and in Delhi actually, and the whole crew decided to go on strike at 4 p.m. before the show. Doors are at 6, and the lights are all just like, you know, like human height. They hadn't like strung the lights up because they were like, oh, we haven't gotten paid. They're like, it's been such miscommunication, and I had to go on an hour late because of that.
Oh man.
And I got skewered online because I was like late to my own show, and I literally was like, there was no stage, there was no lights. I couldn't have come on stage. It was just like, nope, like where would I perform?
Where would you stand?
Exactly.
You needed Kanye to come out all of the lights.
Seriously, exactly.
That's so.
There was like people like nailing stuff like last minute. It was madness. It was so stressful. Horrible. Yeah, it was so stressful.
And how did you do? I mean, were you able to like, or did it? I mean.
Yeah, I stayed extra. I
So you
took
made up
some
for
requests.
it.
Yeah,
That's right.
it was fine. But I still got like people very angry at me.
Yeah, because they're not gonna blame the team.
They're never gonna blame me. Yeah, everyone's just like, oh, it's your fault. I'm just like, it's actually not my fault. I've been ready since 6 p.m., which was Doors.
That was Doors.
So
the hardest one for me was it was somewhere here in California, and I was on the bill. It was some kind of fundraiser or something, and there was a band. Well, in India, not even a band, but like an ensemble of musicians, maybe a clarinetist, and a lot of like playing the tablas, very desi, you know, and all this. And then they didn't tell me that they're going to leave all their instruments on the stage.
Oh no!
And it's cluttered. It's very cluttered. I like to move around a lot. Right. And then
you're a physical performer.
I'm a physical performer. I like to move around, talk to the audience, whatever. And then they go, because there are instruments on the stage, you have to take your shoes off. Out of respect for the instruments. I guess so. I'm a human being. I gotta take off my shoes for I'll do it for a person.
Yeah.
But like, no, you have to do it. I was so internally angry.
Yeah, right.
But then I'm like, okay, they're like, no, that's tradition and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do? I gotta take my shoes off.
You're like, pick your battles.
You gotta pick your battles. We started late. It was a mixed crowd. It was a very, very, very hard gig.
Yeah.
But you just found it in yourself to just focus. And the show was one of my best shows because I think I came from such a place of anger.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna show these people. I gotta take my shoes off. Well, I'm gonna body the set in my socks, okay?
I find my best performances are when I'm like about to boil my head off and I've chewed everyone's faces off and I'm screaming, and then I get on stage and then I'm just like, and I'm so angry. Or if I'm like really, if I tell people to be like, put your hands up, or like, and there's just like people in the front, there's like a VIP section and they're just like, and that gets me pissed off like no other, and then I will individually call them all out and I'll be like, I was like, unless you have a physical disability that doesn't let you do that, please put your hands up. And I'm like, all the people in the front, I see you, I point at them, hands up.
Then they feel like they have to.
Yeah,
then they feel like they have to.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care if you're an auntie or a tata, I don't care, you do it.
Come on, get with it, man.
Yeah,
Show
exactly.
your Desi side. That's crazy. Best performance you've ever had, where you're like, man, that was just, brag on yourself, be like, man, I just killed that.
Oh God, I don't think I can say that because I always have something I messed up on in every performance, so I'm very nitpicky.
Sure. Well, you're happy with it. You're like, you know what, that could have been.
That could have been fun.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's perfect. But,
right, of course. I've performed a few times. I mean, honestly, usually any show in India, as soon as I'm like on stage, and like the crowd and me, like especially if it's like a fun, like younger crowd that's like really there to be there.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And the show I did right before the pandemic, I was at a university in Chennai, and that was, I think,
so fun.
So memorable, so great.
I love those. I think the best part of those performances is probably like a minute in when you know the crowd is live.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, these next 90 minutes are just gonna
They're gonna be
so
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
You just know.
That's exactly, hit my first chorus, and if they sing along to that chorus, because it is like an original song, you start with it, and they sing along to it, and
Then
they know it, then I'm like, oh, they know it.
Yeah.
They're here for that.
That's really good. Comedians do that too with jokes. Like if you tell kind of an edgy joke and they're with it,
Yes.
you're like, okay, that means I could do that. Because then you go, okay, I can then do this chunk of jokes. But if they don't go for that, it's kind of like,
yeah,
okay,
like do you
then I gotta
pivot?
go.
Do you have like 2 scripts in your head? Okay.
You have kind of a, it's like a choose your own adventure book where you
Right.
feel like you've got these, let's say 90 minutes, but then you got crowd work so you could stretch it out or whatever, especially if they're not, okay, that means they're not gonna like these next 15 minutes. They don't want to hear anything about politics. Okay, that's 15, 20 minutes gone, so I'm gonna elongate the part about marriage or music or whatever, do more crowd work and you switch it up,
With crowd work, is it hard for you to like improvise? Like when you look at somebody, like, or do you have like certain talking points?
No, I
with
have
the
no
crowd
talking
work?
points. I go out
Oh.
with just bare. I'm like, I will just
You're just
go.
like, oh, hi.
Yeah, I can just talk to
John. Okay.
Yeah, and just figure it out. But I think it's those times of just laying in the cut and waiting for the crew and I were talking about this. Just the idea of sort of just laying in the cut, waiting for that really good joke instead of the small, like quick jokes.
Yeah.
Like someone says their name, and you're like, okay. One thing you do try to do is like, what do other people say to this person? So if somebody goes, my name's Clementine, which I've met a Clementine.
Really? That's a fun name.
That's a fun name, but you don't go, oh, my darling Clementine, because you know that person's heard that so many times. You try to, okay, don't say that.
Yeah.
But what's the next thing that comes to mind?
Oh, I would be so bad at that actually. There's no way in hell I could do that.
Do you not? But you talk to a little bit, right?
It's like my most dreaded part of a performance. I hate public speaking, which is weird. I know everyone's like, why?
No, because your songs are like you're there to sing.
Yes, I feel like with music, I can just hide behind it a little bit. I can be in my world.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to say hide behind without you saying it. So.
I do. I mean, it's the truth. But then with speaking, I have to be like, okay, the story of this next song, and then I just like hate it. But I usually like go through it, and if I feel like it's a good crowd, I just take a second, and I'm like, how are you guys feeling? You know. Things like I don't tolerate if they're like kids and people are like smoking, and then I'll always like call those people out. Like things I'd be like, stop smoking at the show.
Oh wow.
There's a kid right next to you, like things like that. I get like really, I don't know why, but I feel like when there's a lot of kids that come to see me, so I'm like, oh, this is bad. Like they shouldn't be in this like environment.
How old's a kid? Like
it really depends, honestly. Okay. Like I've had.
But when you think of kids,
newborns.
Not newborns. Okay,
I was like no newborns.
That would be bad for their ears.
But there's at least like. Starting from like 2 to 3 all the way till like but the majority of like people that come, like kids that come to see me are like between 8 and 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like the tween market.
Full tweens. But I am usually nervous for every performance, I think. Not nervous, but I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go. Like ready adrenaline. Yeah. If I hear like the crowd beforehand or if like people are like chanting or which is really fun, then I get like really excited that that can like move into excitement.
Awesome.
But if it's not that, then it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. No, that's true. And you consistently do these shows that are thousands of people. So that's a different scale.
Yeah.
That's a different scale. But I mean, the cheers are louder, but the silence is louder.
Exactly.
Like when it doesn't work.
Yeah, you're like, ooh.
Kind of like, ooh, that was
like, oh,
kind of
glad you guys like that song. Woo. Like one
person.
And I'm like, oh God, kill me right now. I'm like, oh God.
And it's Shankar.
Yeah, it's like truly. Shankar is usually just like trying to fix something and like in the
back. Like
back.
trying to get the lights up.
Yeah, exactly.
What is a movie that you have not seen that would blow us away? Or like, oh my gosh, you have not seen this movie?
I feel like I haven't seen some of like the classics. Okay. Some of the classic rom-coms. And over quarantine, I tried to like watch that.
Oh,
like She's All That. And like, things like that.
Classic.
I don't know, like all these like kind of things. Everyone's like, oh, you haven't seen that?
Yeah. I haven't seen She's All That.
Brown kids,
I know.
I was actually watching like the Mahabharata. and like.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, growing up, I watched the.
You watch all like 26 tapes?
Yeah, and like Arun Goville's
Yeah, of course.
Ramayana. That's what I watched, and the Mahabharata. I watched that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, have you guys seen the Mahabharata? You know,
Like,
by
no.
Nitish Bharadwaj. No. So.
No, but they've seen She's All That.
Exactly. So you know,
That's
goes both ways.
That's actually the subtitle of the Ramayana, and it's called He's All That, and it's all about rom. It's a rom-com.
Oh my God. No. That's actually great though.
Thank you. I was gonna say, I mean, like at least appreciate the effort. I was pretty happy.
No,
with
that's
that.
great. I love that. Okay, cool.
All right.
I'm gonna steal that.
I think you should. I think that's good. So, anyway.
Ooh, okay. I see you with these aces serving.
That's one thing that I.
So are you holding back on me right now with your spins? Are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
because
spins?
we're collaborating right now. Like we're not competing.
Right.
So if you wanna
Because you're like
compete-
scared to compete against me.
I'm terrified.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
would
yeah.
happen if I try?
Truly, yeah. Well, actually, my ankle's not that good today.
See?
So.
That's it.
Yeah,
the shin
but-
splint, you know.
But yeah, exactly. But if you
If I really
did,
started hitting
it would just not go well for you, I have to say.
We do have insurance, so if you slip and fall, you know. We're
Oh, great. That's good. Maybe I should slip and fall. I'm kidding.
Do you have any good celebrity stories? Or any good collab stories?
Oh, collab stories?
It could be collaboration, or you met someone, or anything.
Oh, I have had a few big fan moments, but I would say my biggest fan moment was when I met Hrithik Roshan.
Oh, Hrithik Roshan, that's big.
He's very sweet, and yeah, and he said he was a fan, and I like actually lost it. When I was so mute. I'm usually not like silent in social situations,
Yeah.
but when I first met him, I was so mute, and I couldn't even like get words out. It was really a huge fan moment because I saw.
Did you know he was going to be there?
Yeah, it was like he like invited me to his me and Shankar to his place.
Yeah.
For a while, I thought it was fake, but it has actually ended up being real. I thought it was like someone scamming me, but it wasn't.
I mean, that's a big enough name that you would think it could be.
I definitely, do you know how many managers like Shah Rukh Khan has, for example? Like all these people are just like, yeah, I'm Shah Rukh Khan's main DJ. I'm like, what is that?
What? Wow. Yeah. What a role.
Yeah, everyone,
Main DJ.
everyone's just like inserting themselves. Yeah, so that was like a very big moment.
And he was really cool.
Very cool.
Dude, that's awesome.
Super sweet, just like down to hang.
Oh, nice, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It's great.
Yeah, that's a big one for sure. Give me some I've nevers, so some things that you haven't done where people be like, wow.
What I have never done, but I want to do, would be like I'd love to do like do some voice acting. I think that would be so fun. I don't know if I'd be necessarily good at it, but I think it would be fun. Like I'm obsessed with Bob's Burgers, and like it's my dream. That's my dream gig is to have like a side character on Bob's Burgers for like one episode. Truly.
But put that out there in the universe.
Yeah.
And they haven't.
Anyone from Bob's Burgers is watching, call me.
They will.
I'm kidding.
Do you think you've made it?
No way. No, not at all.
Really?
Just getting started, for sure. There's so many things I have to do, want to do. So much farther I have to take music, my music specifically. Just even if no one listens to it, just like for myself.
Oh wow. What is it that what's the last thing like that you feel like you did where you made a step forward in your musical journey?
Honestly, I want to say like with my last EP, it was not that. It was Indian influence, but I sang in no Indian languages in that. And a lot of people, and I took it on tour, and a lot of people really liked it live. And I honestly was like, oh, this is great. That gave me like a boost of being like, okay, maybe this is cool. Like this is a different moment that I haven't had before. That's all original music and people really enjoy it. So that's kind of like, yeah, I was like, oh, maybe starting to make it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty
It takes
dope.
me a step forward.
What's the next thing like that where you go, okay, that's what I got to incorporate next?
My next record, hopefully. I was working on it right now. It's all about, yeah, brown girl power.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Identity.
Identity, and there's so many different ways of saying, okay, you're really good at this, damn it. So many different ways of expressing our identities, and I feel like I'm just getting started telling my story.
what would be that thing where you go, okay, I've made it? And I understand it's an ongoing journey, and we're always trying to get better, and I get all that. But where you can point to something and go, okay, I've arrived.
If I get a Drake collab.
If you get what?
A Drake collab.
That's
or like a Nicki collab.
Would be pretty sick.
That would be awesome.
Is he your dream collaborator?
Him or actually Nicki Minaj, I would say.
Really?
Yeah. They're...
More than Megan, more than Cardi.
Oh, and I mean, they're amazing too. I love Cardi, love Megan.
No, but I mean,
I like Nicki, yeah, for sure.
Well, she's the OG out.
OG, GOAT, you know.
One of the top 5 hip hop verses ever, I think.
Oh, for sure. Monster.
I think Nicki's,
I mean, it's interesting that was like her first big song, and like she's fully remembered for it, you know. But yeah, she's so many verses of hers. Truffle butter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's with Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah. And Drake, and she can honestly just like out rap any of these men. Just like bye.
It's really impressive. I mean,
and outright both.
I would say out of certainly Young Money, there's no doubt. No, those are great. That would be insane. So if you collabed with either one of them, you'd be like, okay.
I'd be like, peace. You know, just kidding. I do think that if I could like buy my mom a house, that's where I would like actually think that I would have made it.
And Drake's done that, I think.
And I mean, if Drake has a part in it, great, you know, but if he doesn't, fine, you know.
That's pretty sick.
But that would be great if I could get my mom a house and like take care of her. That's my whole. I clearly picked a great career for that, but we'll see.
Well, because it's hard to make money in the music game.
Yeah, it is. Right? You have to be smart about it. Definitely not like buying your mom a house money, so that's hard. Yeah.
And it depends on the zip code. You know, buying a house in Cincinnati is different from buying it in Los Angeles.
It's very true.
You know,
yeah.
Bought my mom a house in Alabama, it doesn't have the same.
That's not the same. No, I mean like like in Virginia or like a place where she wants to be, or LA. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but that's a good. I like that sort of like career professional tip, and then the personal like if I could do this, that would indicate some level of making it.
Yeah.
Where can you want to promote something and/or tell people where to find you?
Check me out on Vidya Vox everywhere at Vidya Vox, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and that's it.
Everybody, thank you for joining us with our amazing, amazing guest, Vidya Vox, on What Do You Bring to the Table? I've been your host, Rajiv, and I still am.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.